Have you ever heard of something called Obsessive Ex Syndrome? Do you believe that somebody that you know, such as your partner, your ex partner, a family member, a friend, that somebody you know has this, is afflicted by this? And do you worry about the impact that this may have on, or is already having on, your relationship with this person? The first thing that you have to do is confirm that this type of man or woman that you're dealing with really does have obsessive X syndrome. And I am going to help you. I'm going to illuminate, I guess, the details about the most obvious symptoms of obsessive X syndrome. But first, let me tell you about the obsessive X themselves. Okay, so obsessive jealousy. One way to find out whether or not that your ex or whoever, your friend, your coworker, your neighbor, or whoever it may be, has this obsessive X syndrome, if they exhibit extremely jealous behavior. What is obsessive jealous behavior? In a healthy relationship after a breakup, two parties usually move on to find new people and eventually venture on into new relationships. The parties previously involved in a relationship may decide to remain in contact with one another or have a cordial relationship, but imperatively, there would be limits to the relationship that these people have. And on the other hand, an obsessive X may deem it fit to exceed these normal limits, the standard of these limits, and feel the need to control the events around your life, even years into the future, years into a new relationship. People with this syndrome still have an impression that the breakup never occurred, and more so that they have certain rights over the subject of their obsession. And in the long run, these people tend to exhibit obsessive jealous behaviors. What are these behaviors? Normal occurrences such as someone casually greeting you, or maybe commenting on your Instagram pictures or your Facebook photos or emojis or whatever it may be. It could be one word. They react in a negative way, and they may even stir up dangerous or violent behavior. And in most cases, the partner, their new partner, or the subject of their attraction becomes a target for them to exhibit these intentions. And since their inability to let go of the relationship is sponsored by a possible underlying personality disorder, the only way to get rid of the obsessed X is by seeking immediate treatment. And this means that if you observe these signs in a partner or a friend or whoever it may be, it is imperative to take action before the situation spirals out of control. So what else can you look for? Intense surveillance, intense monitoring. And as explained earlier, one of the major difficulties that people with obsessive X syndrome have is the inability to let go. Even long after a breakup, they feel this very intense need to stay in close contact with, even if they are not truly in contact with the subject of their attraction, such as in stalking behavior. And though they may get an intuition that the target may get an intuition that something is different, there could be an effect of an underlying medical condition that is overturning this person's obsessive behavior and their capacity to think clearly. And this increases the obsessive X behaviors. And one subtle but prominent sign of obsessive X syndrome is that the X is displaying intense surveillance, intense monitoring. In any healthy relationship, an ex partner may need they may feel the need to check up on you or their previous partner with phone calls or text messaging, asking how they're doing, whatever. But this is a normal occurrence. However, when an obsessive X is experiencing this syndrome, they are never far from their past victim or their former partner, either virtually or physically, whether the past partner knows it or not, and whether it's under the pretenses of positive or negative terms. This often leads to extreme stalking. No doubt the effects of the stalking can be traumatic on the person being stalked, which is why it is best to take action before it becomes extremely serious. If your ex is cyber stalking you or someone close to you, this indicates the signs of obsessive X syndrome, and it's best to take immediate action, as this can transcend into physical stalking. And many of us, myself included, have been physically stalked. If you notice an ex at regular locations or places that you're visiting, you should consider having a restraining order taken out against him or her. Do you have an ex or an ex that has a new partner who has an obsessive nature to them, and at most times can cause derailment in relationships and with other people, such as neighbors. An ex-husband or an ex-partner and their new partner may find it exceedingly difficult to keep from meddling in the relationships that you have with people in your current life, even if you have nothing to do with the ex that is meddling in your life anymore. Since they are exhibiting obsessive behaviors towards only one subject, and only all of their attention is going solely to this one person, you've got some very seriously disturbed behavior going on. And if you suspect that you know somebody who is having this type of behavior, one way to find out is to check with close relatives to see how this person is holding up. And if you find out that somebody is engaging in this type of stalking behavior, report it to the police immediately. And even though your ex may have had plenty of opportunities to move on, an underlying mental condition that they're suffering from, if stalking behavior is occurring, makes them fixated on this attraction towards you, whether it's positive or negative. And they can mean this, that means that their only focus is on this one relationship, whether it's a positive or negative one with you, and without being able to let go. And this can turn into an extremely dangerous stalking situation. And hopefully this person's been diagnosed, but it is very unlikely that this person would ever seek treatment, as they're guaranteed to be playing the victim, accusing you of the exact same things that they are doing to you, that they are guilty of, and turning them around on you, which is also known as DARVO, deny, attack, reverse, victim, and offender. These people are very pathological, and they show all of these symptoms most of the time, with physical stalking included. Do not hesitate to file ex partes and get law enforcement involved. My name is Sarah Ann Brown, and this is Narcissistic Abuse 101.